In this video, I'm going to show you how to create the block attributes or a block with attributes. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and create yourself a layer. So go to the Home tab and Layer Properties and create a layer. So you can go New Layer and then type in Attributes. I've already created one, so I've got mine set as blue. It doesn't really matter what color you use. Just go ahead and create a layer because the attributes that I'm going to make are going to be on an invisible, will not be showing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in attribute definition. So I'm going to make it invisible, and using your information here, I'm going to create a tag called item, so I know whether it's an appliance, a range, refrigerator, a tag for fixture, a tag for manufacturer, and a tag for price. I know you say set as default, but I'm not going to use defaults in these because in case you ever wanted to change, you don't have a default. It's an option. So if something that you specifically want as a default, then make sure you have it set up. I'm just showing you the commands to use. All right, so I'm going to push this over just so I can have it and see. Make sure I'm typing in the right stuff. So the tag that I'm going to say, I'm going to make this, let me make this smaller so I can have both of them side by side. So I'm going to type in ATTDEF. So my first one is going to, the mode is invisible. I'm not going to have any other constraint, and I'm going to specify the point. So I'm going to say item, and I'm going to have my prompt say type of item, and this is where I'll say appliance, range, or refrigerator. You can go OK, and I'm just going to pick a point. Now I'm going to do that attribute definition again, ATTDEF, and this one I'm going to say, instead of specifying on screen, I'm going to align it with the previous attribute, and the tag is going to be fixture. And my prompt is what type of fixture. And the reason I'm doing and not having a default is because I'm going to use these attributes for all of the blocks that I'm going to create. So I don't want to have to create all these attributes for each into one. I'm going to create one attribute for appliance, fixture, manufacturer, and price. But I'm going to copy that multiple times. By doing the align below the previous, it will automatically put the information right below here. And I go, OK. I'm going to hit enter. When you hit enter after the last command, it brings up the previous command. Again, align below. The tag is going to be manufacturer. The prompt is who is the who's the manufacturer, and then OK. Hit enter, brings up the prompt again, last command. The next one is price, is the tag, and then I ask what is the price of the item. Now you can type it in any way, any prompt you want, it doesn't matter. Again, not on screen, align below the previous attribute, and go OK. Now I'm using these attributes for each one of these, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of room, and I'm just going to move that down a little bit. So I'm going to copy, CO for copy, and I'm going to place them next to each of these. Because I have it as invisible, it's not going to show up. So I have to create a block, so I'm going to say B for block, and I'm going to call it tub with attributes. I'm going to pick a point, and I'm just going to arbitrarily pick this point here. I'm going to select the object, retain them, and leave everything else as default. So I'm going to select the objects. I'm going to select the tub first, and then item, fixture, manufacturer, and price. Select these in order of how you want them to be read. Click that, leave it as retain, and go OK. It automatically puts us into the block editor, tell it to save, and close. Now I'm going to go ahead and type in insert and test the command, and I should have the tub with attributes. I go okay, and when I bring this in here, I'm just going to put it up here. I'm going to pick this, go enter, and it asks me what type. So the tub is an appliance, A-P-P-L-I-C-E. Type of fixture, all right, tub, manufacturer, Kenmore, and it is 1,000. And then go okay. Now you're asking yourself, well, I don't see it because I told it to be invisible. But if I look at this, if you look at what your attributes are, they're listed here. Now, when you bring in the tub, you want to make sure that it is on the proper layer, whether it be the object or whatever layer you're going to be putting these on. You may want a layer called utilities or appliances or something like that, whatever layer it needs to be. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change that, and that's going to be on the object layer. Now I have all of the blue text is on my attributes layer. If I wanted this to show up, if we ever needed it to be visible, we would have to modify the block itself. So I'm going to do all of these blocks. So I'm going to say B for block, and I'm going to call it, give myself some room, toilet with attributes. Pick a point, doesn't matter where. I arbitrarily pick this one. You can pick whichever point you want. Pick the toilet first, item, fixture, manufacturer, then price. Enter, enter. So go okay. Oh, it says I haven't selected, so I'm going to select objects. Oops. And enter, and then okay. So close editor, and I'll create another one. B for block, and this one's going to be sync with attributes. Now you can name it however you wish. I'm just naming it what I'm thinking. I'm going to do it from the center point. I'm going to select my objects, the sync, the item, the fixture, manufacturer, and price. Enter. Everything is default. Make sure you retain it just in case you need to change something, and then go OK. This that pops up right here is called the parametrics. We're not going to be using that. I'm going to save the block and close it. Type in B, create another block. This time I'm going to make a stove. Pick a point. I'm going to pick this point. You can pick any base point you want. And I'm going to select the objects, stove, item, fixture, manufacturer, and price. Enter. And then OK. Oops. And close. Now, save the block and close. I'm going to create B for block, and this one is going to be refrigerator. Oops, helps if I spelt it right. With attributes. Pick a point. Select objects. Enter. Enter. Must not. Oops, let me do that again. So B. I picked the wrong thing out of order, so I'm going to select objects, enter, pick my base point, and go OK. Save and close. Now, when I go to insert, I have all of these. Now this one, I actually have the wrong name on it. It should say with stove with attributes, but I'm going to let it go. You can change that when you do yours. Now, when I go to insert this information, you're going to go ahead and get rid of most of this. Notice she doesn't have item, but I just created an extra line item because I'll show you when you go into the data extraction how to work that. So I'm going to insert my first object. So I'm going to pull this over so I can see where these go. So I'm going to do I'm going to put some of this information in, and you can rotate it however you need. So insert. Insert. I'm going to start with the stove that I created. Come over here, and I'm going to go nearest and I'm going to put it here. Scale is 1, and it asks me the item. So the item is an appliance. Its fixture, let me pull this over, just making sure, is called, oh, it's not an appliance, it's a range. Oh, that's how it is. Oh, they wanted whether it be a fixture or a range. So I'm going to leave the fixture as blank, and the manufacturer is Kenmore, and the price is $500. Now, if you wanted to do a default in the manufacturer, you could. So I'll go OK. Now, for example, if I go and insert, for example, if I inserted the tub with attributes, I could just arbitrarily put it over here and then go OK. If I ever needed to change it, I could actually go into the block editor and say, okay, for the manufacturer, on this one, I could change its text into the default is tag, annotative, prompt, and value. I could actually type in the default information as a Kenmore. Save the block and close it. So when I go to insert, let's say I go into insert this tub over here. I go insert tub with attributes. I can go ahead and put this here, hit enter. Notice it already has the manufacturer in here. Type of item, whether it's an appliance or a fixture. So we'll say it's an appliance. Type of fixture is tub, and the price was $1,000. Okay. And then you just need to move this wherever you need to. I'll put the sink and the toilet in. So I for insert. Sink with attributes. So I'm going to put that here. Enter. It is going to be a appliance sink. I should say attribute or fixture. Manufacturer is Kenmore, and the price was $400. And then insert, and I'm going to insert the toilet. And I put the toilet in here, put it to the nearest in here. Enter, type of item, appliance, fixture is toilet, manufacturer is Kenmore, and it is $500. And okay. Now I'm missing the is that a sink over here? Nope. There's not this sink, but there is the refrigerator. So I'm going to insert and then refrigerator with attributes. Okay. And I'm going to just bring it over here. Hit enter. Type of item. Refrigerator. Leave fixture blank. Kenmore, and price was $1,200. Okay, so there's all your information with your attributes. Technically, you can now erase all this if you wish. I don't know if you're supposed to keep it or delete it or not, but you can get rid of it. Save out your drawing. This is all for this video, and the next video I'll show you how to do the data extraction.